Yo, what's good everyone? OJ here. Welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about some interesting information, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we are starting off with a rumor, but I don't really consider this a rumor, but we have to phrase it that way. But either way, Square Enix is heavily interested in bringing Kingdom Hearts 3 to the Nintendo Switch. Dreamcast Guy has reported this in a recent video, and the reason why I'm saying that this isn't really a rumor or anything like that, it's because I think it's more true. Yes, we can't sit here and say anything about it, but Square Enix has expressed interest in bringing a lot of their IPs, bringing over pretty much any Japanese game over to Nintendo Switch. But in the video from Dreamcast Guy, he says that he has a source within Square Enix that says that Square Enix is seriously considering this. But this is something that Square Enix seriously considered, bringing Final Fantasy 15 to the Nintendo Switch, but they found out that the Luminous engine wasn't really running that great on the system. So then they did tests with Unreal Engine 4 and they found out that runs a lot better, so maybe they were thinking about converting that and seeing what they can do with Epic and Nintendo, and that fell through. So guess what engine that Kingdom Hearts runs on? It runs on Unreal Engine 4. And if they considered Final Fantasy 15, which before Final Fantasy 15 and before all of these different games that were coming out that Square Enix announced, there really hasn't been much mainline Final Fantasy games on a Nintendo platform. They're bringing all of those to Nintendo Switch, and then they were trying to do tests to bring 15 over. Kingdom Hearts runs on Unreal Engine 4, and it's Kingdom Hearts, which has been on Nintendo platforms before. So this doesn't shock me or surprise me, and I think that it's more so than a rumor. Obviously, you have to tag it as that because it's not confirmed. It's Dreamcast Guy's source, so you're going to put it as a rumor, but I don't really think it's a rumor. If they were trying to get Final Fantasy 15 with the Luminous engine on the Nintendo Switch, or they're heavily interested, that's what this says, they're heavily interested in it, I don't see why they wouldn't do the same with Kingdom Hearts 3, which runs on Unreal Engine 4, which would be much easier to bring over than a Final Fantasy 15. So yeah, I think that they're considering it, and yeah, I think that it could happen. So this is a question that I get so much on all of my different live streams and everything, and I've talked about this all the way back on like the Wii U. I think somebody linked the video talking about how I said that like Wii U should deserve Kingdom Hearts, but at the time that was obviously because we were coming off of a lot of like the GBA and the DS. It was closer to those games that all sold really well. Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, we were closer to that time period, so it also well. Obviously it's been a while since then. Kingdom Hearts 3 has changed dramatically. It's changed engines. It's been multiple years. Look how long it's been since we've known about Kingdom Hearts. I was talking about it being on the Wii U. That's how long it's been. 2013 is when that game was announced. So I think at this point, I think Square Enix is definitely considering putting Kingdom Hearts on the Nintendo Switch. Let's just look at it from a different perspective here. If you look at the Media Crate sales charts in Japan, Nintendo Switch is blowing up pretty much over the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Obviously a lot more than the Xbox One. The Xbox One sells like nothing in Japan. If you look at the PlayStation 4, that system continues to get game after game after game. Good Japanese games. It's pretty much gotten all of the heavy hitters. It's gotten Dragon Quest, it's gotten Monster Hunter, it's gotten Dragon Ball. It's just gotten tons and tons of games, yet the Nintendo Switch still continues to outsell it every single week by at least double, like minimum of double units. Kingdom Hearts is a game that has been in development forever and has costed Square Enix a lot of money to produce. Of course they're going to want to have it on the Nintendo Switch when you have a huge install base to sell the game to, because believe it or not guys, Kingdom Hearts is not going to sell amazingly on the Xbox One platform. It's going to do okay, just like Final Fantasy 15, but what we saw with that game is that most people bought Final Fantasy 15 on the PlayStation 4, and if Final Fantasy 15 was on the Switch and there was a competent version of the game, let's just say launched sometime like last year, something like that, it probably got a lot more sales than we'd even see on the Xbox One platform. I mean, we're looking at games like Octopath Traveler absolutely blowing it out of the park with the sales, and that's Octopath Traveler, a brand new IP with nowhere near the budget or the star power as a Kingdom Hearts. So absolutely, Square Enix is looking at the explosive sales of RPGs like Xenoblade Chronicles 2 selling over 1.5 million, or probably near 1.5 million, or above that if you consider the Torna expansion, maybe even near 2 million at this point, because we haven't heard the sales in a while. You look at the great RPG sales, Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle, that game sold over 2 million units. The Nintendo Switch has been an RPG machine and has been selling a lot of RPGs. So yeah, if Square Enix is smart, they're going to want to get this game, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, and all their other IPs that they can bring over, especially Japanese IPs. Now, Western IPs, not so much, but Japanese RPGs, absolutely, because of the huge install base and consumption of RPGs in Japan and what they have going on there, plus what the US is offering when it comes to it. So I don't really see this too much as rumor. I see this more as, yeah, they're doing it because they've done it before, but once again, we do have to tag that as rumor, and I do believe that Square Enix is going to try to see what they can do to get Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Nintendo Switch. Now, do I know if it's going to ultimately end up coming? No, I don't know. At this point, I'm just going to say no because we don't know, if it's going to come or not. But if you look at what they're doing with Final Fantasy, you look at what they're doing with Octopath, the fact that they brought up a whole nother development team to kind of make Switch games and other titles. They even said multi-platform as well, so maybe that team could be porting and stuff like that. It's not out of the question, and I think that, yeah, Final Fantasy 15 was considered and they really wanted to do it and actually went far enough to do tests. Yeah, why not Kingdom Hearts as well? So those are my thoughts on that. What do you guys think about this here? I'll have the video linked in the description below if you want to check that one out. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on it. All right, and moving on to the next topic here. Monolith Soft is recruiting first production development staff for a brand new RPG project, and I think that there's many facets to this story, guys, even though it doesn't seem like much, but let's go ahead and get into this first. So Monolith Soft's first production development department, which developed Xenoblade Chronicles, Xenoblade Chronicles X, and Xenoblade Chronicles 2, is hiring staff for development of a new RPG project. The studio is seeking programmers, graphics programmers, character control programmers, and AI programmers, planners, level designers, technical artists, modeling TA, animation TA, and effects TA, designers, map modelers, in-game animators, character modelers, character designers for the artwork staff, and script event creators, and management and software staff, production assistants, and event production management to work on an RPG. So yeah, there is a lot of stuff. There's something going down here, and it looks like this is freaking from Xenoblade Chronicles 1 with this picture that they showed off here, which was from the official Twitter page trying to recruit some of the best talent in the Japanese gaming industry there. So let's talk about this just a bit. So I do feel that Monolith Soft is big enough to have multiple projects in the works. They have more than one set team. They actually have multiple teams that they do work with. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was only produced by a part of their team, about 40 people, while others worked on other projects. So I do think what they're doing now is that they're switching gears, right? So they've already started to work on a brand new project or whatever it is that they're going to be working on. They have that one picture that they were showing, that Monolith Soft's new project that they've already been recruiting on. I think they're really getting into high gear with this so it can be revealed or it can be showed in 2019 and maybe even get a release in 2019, probably 2020, but maybe it's close enough to where we get a late release in 2019, but probably not with Pokemon and all that. So maybe they show it off in 2019 and it gets released in 2020, but either way, they're gearing up, they're making sure that they got all systems go, because this is going to be their next big project built ground up for Switch, not in the same type of timeline as the Wii U, because you have to remember that Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was built off of the engine from Xenoblade Chronicles X from the Wii U. So they might be making a whole new rendering engine like they talked about in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, Torna the Golden Country, and making sure that they fine-tune that to be built to take advantage of the full strengths of the Nintendo Switch. So they're probably doing a lot of different things here. So they're going to need a lot of help, and that's why they're recruiting. We also had an interview just the other day with Tetsuya, and he talked about how there was just incredible sales for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 here in the West, especially Europe and the US over Japan. People really were snapping it up full price, obviously, and then the Torna the Golden Country expansion pass, get another 40 bucks from that or 30 bucks from that on top of that, is probably making quite a bit of money to flow into the offices so they can't be hiring for all these big projects. And I think at this point for Monolith Soft, there's really nowhere they can go but up. They're getting better and better with their releases, in my opinion. You might like a game that they've done before more so than their new game, but each game they kind of take it up another step and then take it up another step. You look at Xenoblade Chronicles and you look at Xenoblade Chronicles X and what they did with that open world, and then you look at Xenoblade Chronicles 2, what they did with the story, the amount of cutscenes, the amount of everything that's inside that game. So they just take it up step by step, and every single time it's something even bigger. So it looks like they're really going to be gearing up for a huge project on this one. But I do feel that they have multiple projects in development just because of their team sizes. They have multiple different teams, and they have teams throughout Japan. So I think they're going to be working on a couple different projects here, and I feel that there could be some type of remake in the works, like a Xenoblade Chronicles 1 or a Xenoblade Chronicles X. I think that out of the games that they've done before with the mainline ones, Xenoblade Chronicles X, Xenoblade Chronicles 1, I think Xenoblade Chronicles X needs a port to the Nintendo Switch more so than Xenoblade Chronicles 1, just because Xenoblade Chronicles X, the Wii U gamepad just had, for me, okay, not for everybody, but for me, had some issues with having to be required to use for certain things. So if you're using the Pro Controller, you essentially have to use 2 controllers, whereas I think it would be better if it played without that, or maybe even giving the option to people in the original one. Obviously, with the Wii U and going to the Nintendo Switch, they wouldn't be able to give people the option because there's no gamepad like that. So it would have to be like a little mini screen, or you can swap back and forth with the whole mining and everything with the second screen stuff. But either way, I think that a Xenoblade Chronicles X port would be really nice. That can smooth out some of the issues with that game, because you have to download these texture packs, fast loading packs and stuff like that in order to get it to be optimized and run good, which I think was the only Wii U game that did that. There might have been some other third-party ones that I can't remember, but I know it was the only first-party game that did something like that. So I'd really love to see that game come over, and hopefully they can get a Xenoblade Chronicles X port. But I'd be happy with Xenoblade Chronicles 1 as well. So I think this is exciting times for RPG fans. It's exciting times for Monolith Soft. They've got some projects that they're working on. They've got a big one here, their first production development staff, so that's definitely cool to see, and I can't wait to see what they have for us. Maybe we'll get something in like a January Direct or something like that. Who knows? Wishful thinking, maybe not. Maybe something at E3. Who knows? The last time that we saw a project announced, that was in 2017 with Xenoblade Chronicles 2, so maybe they have a big direct plan for us or something like that in January, or even a mini direct where they show us the first thing at the very end of it. So you never know with Monolith Soft and Nintendo. So what do you guys think about the different topics that we discussed here, from Kingdom Hearts potentially coming to Switch and Monolith Soft as well? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us out. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Lets me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to Player Essence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you, Ninja, for the next video. Peace.